the adage of like women being too emotional, women being too soft, or that women need to be more motherly, like women need to be warm and fuzzy to be good at their jobs. And I know while I thankfully never dealt with some of the horrors that a lot of women dealt with coming out of the Me Too movement, I certainly had my share of men calling me sweetie and men, treating me like I was a little girl instead of seeing me as their superior when I was in fact their boss. And so I think like keeping your composure and understanding too that there's a generation of men and of people who are on their way out, and they bring with them a completely different set of expectations and experiences of the gender roles and stereotypes. And I do feel like the people coming up underneath me and even my peers have a lot more tolerance for that, where it's not even a question. It's like not a big deal that you are a woman. And so I don't think you need to shy away from your femininity and the things that make you inherently a woman. It's not about overcompensating and being, overly masculine version of yourself and being like kind of this person. I've definitely met some women who feel like they need to be that way, and it works for them, sure. But like, I don't subscribe to that approach. I think you need to be authentically who you are. But yes, you do have to get a tough skin, and that doesn't mean you're not impacted or affected by what happens, but you understand that ultimately it really isn't about you, and you can kind of start to have better tools to navigate what is inherently a very emotional experience. Production is like, oh my God, and people talk about, it's the showbiz. It's like, it's show emotion. It's like, there's so much emotion involved left and right. And half the job is just managing like hundreds of people who are all feeling different things at different times, some who can actually vocalize it, some who can't, and just really be able to like herd cats and just keep everybody focused to get things. And that's like no different, I think, than what I imagine, being a mother would be like if you had a bunch of kids rolling around. All right, guys, it's snack time. Clearly you're cranky because you haven't had your snack. Let me go to craft services and get you some carrot sticks, I mean, I feel like it depends on the personality of each person. If you have a man and a woman who are wired very similarly, I'd say they have an equal shot. But you could have a man who isn't as audacious about it, as tenacious as maybe the woman, and then you could make that example. So to me, it's not necessarily about the gender. It's got to be about the drive and the hustle of the individual. But I do think, of course, there are going to be inherent challenges that you will face, I think, as a woman coming up that maybe men won't face. But I think times are changing, and I think that there are a lot of good men on the inside. I think that one of the downfalls of the Me Too movement is that a lot of good guys have gotten wrapped up in that. And now there's just like, oh, you're a white man. No, thank you. And it's like, that's not how it goes. There's a lot of really incredible people, kind men who are on the inside who really are supportive of anybody wanting to get in the business. And I think they've had their time to shine, and definitely it's time to get someone else to get their time on stage. But I don't think we're going to live in a world without men, and nor do we want to. I think it's about how do we create a work environment that is more conducive for everybody to thrive, regardless of their gender, regardless of their sexual orientation, of their, religious beliefs. And it's actually interesting because one of the coolest things about filmmaking and production specifically is it's not a very discriminatory workplace. It's one of the few industries where you can come from all walks of life and have an equal shot as like the kid who is Spielberg's son, you know what I mean? To become a minimum wage earning PA. And so it attracts a lot of people who have lived multiple lifetimes before they got to be at that place, and who bring this like breath of, I think, reality to the experience that I think is awesome.